Alright, so let's talk about art. I feel that it's only fair that I start out with the painting that started it all, and it's this one right here. It's called Embracing Change. I made it at the very end of 2018 in my last quarter of college. I was feeling really nervous about what my future would hold, if I would make it as an artist, what sort of job I would get after college, where I would live, what my day-to-day would be like, if I would be able to support myself doing art. So I took all of these feelings that I had and I used fall as my inspiration because fall is a changing of season. And I felt like at that time I was in a changing season of life. And so I related to that of like the chaos of it's out of your control, the leaves are changing, they're falling off the trees, there's nothing you can do. You just have to embrace this new reality that you're in. And it can be really kind of sad. I was actually feeling very nostalgic for childhood. I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Just feeling very nervous about the future, because it's so unknown. And to me, this painting, it's a farewell song to childhood and an embracing of change, which is why I called it that. And so the way I started out is, since I knew I was using fall as inspiration, I then made a list of everything that reminds me of fall. And that included lots of sunflowers and pumpkins and roses and black cats, like right there. And what else did I did, of course, the music of her playing her guitar and the hot tea and lights, and even just like these sort of fall sweater patterns all throughout the background. And yeah, this painting was really exciting for me to do. It was the very first time I had tried to be my authentic self while I paint, because prior to this I had mostly been working off of prompts. I mostly worked in watercolor paint. The first time I even started painting in oils, I was a junior in college, so when I painted this, I had only been painting in oils for about a year, or about 2 years at that point. And I hadn't even like tried to see what I was capable of in that medium, and I was just like, I'm just gonna go for it. I have no idea what's gonna happen. And I just gave myself a free pass of, I'm not gonna worry about it looking realistic, and I'm just gonna think of it as an abstract painting. So mentally in my mind, I looked at this and I just said, let's abstract everything. It doesn't have to be real. This is art. Art's a feeling. Art is so much more than just, you know, being perfect to perspective. And so I threw perspective out the window. I was like, I'm just going to throw it all in there as I see fit. And this is just sort of what poured out of me. So let's talk about the technique of actually getting out, how to go from a blank canvas to this. And let me hold it up for you so that you get a closer look. And you can really, hopefully you can see all of these little details that went into the background. And yeah, I thought of it as abstraction, as pattern, and I just didn't limit myself. I think sometimes it's really easy to limit yourself in your head just for like no reason. And sometimes you just have to try and not know how it's going to turn out, and sometimes you'll surprise yourself. And so it started out as a sketch on paper that I just did with a pencil, and then I transferred that sketch onto the canvas. I freehand it, and even just saying that now, I'm like, how did I even do that and still get it like somewhat accurate? And it honestly just takes practice, because at that time I was taking a drawing class simultaneously as this painting class, and we would sit and draw for 3 hours at a time, and I was doing that twice a week and plus homework. So that's how come I felt confident enough to just start drawing on the canvas. And so drawing is just a skill. Don't let that freak you out. It's something you practice and you get better at, and you can see results, um, which is always great. And then so let me put up some pictures next to me on what the process was then. So it started out with the sketch, and then I painted an entire layer of raw sienna over the top, and then I just started filling in the background a bluish green. And I did that because I knew I wanted it to be a nighttime ambiance, and I was thinking like nighttime garden and underneath the trees. And then from there I just went into blocking into the color and adding more detail as I went on, and slowly just kept building the color, building the details, and then it just came out as this. And that's the great thing about painting, is that you can literally never make a mistake because you can always let it dry and paint over the top. So sometimes I can get in my head about making a mistake, so I just say to myself, it's impossible. It's impossible for me to make a mistake. If I don't like something, I'll just fix it later. And then when you keep building the color like that, and you keep building a layer on top of a layer, and then if you, in your mind, think of it as just a layer, then you're never freaking yourself out on it being the perfect final product. At some point, you'll just get to a layer and be like, I think it's done. Like this painting says, embracing change. I think of embrace as like a warm embrace, like a hug. And when we see change as something that can be comforting, and something that we know will be used in our life to propel us into our future and into our destiny, then you don't have to be threatened when you see change coming at you. Now you can say, oh, I'm glad there's change in front of me, because that means now I have an opportunity to grow. Because when you like stop running and you just accept the reality that you're in, and you face whatever that change is in your life, and you like when you face it, then all of a sudden now you have a new maturity, because you've been through the struggle, and because there's like a shaping and a molding that goes into the transformation. If we keep running from the issue, from the problem, from doing the hard work, then we're always going to be stagnant in life, because there is no growth. So even though I might be underwhelmed with what's going on in my life right now, I know that all of the hard work I'm putting into who I want to be in the future is molding me into a person that can handle that next level of my future. It's almost like life will test you and say, well, if you can't handle this, then how are you going to handle the new blessings to come if you're still getting stuck at this level? Each season of life does have difficulties. I mean, even as I was a child and I was giving myself headaches, just stress headaches, because we were moving. And I was only 4 years old. And in that season of life, that was my difficulty I had to face. I had to learn how to chill out and just know that everything is going to be okay, and that I don't have to stress about it. And it's crazy that that's still something that I'm dealing with. I just have to accept that this is where I'm at, and I can still have an inner peace and an inner joy, because you know what sort of seeds that you're planting now, and you always reap what you sow. The illustration is of a farmer, and he plants seeds in the field. And you make sure it has good soil, a good foundation. You water the seeds, you make sure it has sunlight. You put all this hard work and all this labor, and you can know that when you nourish a seed like that, it will grow into a tree and produce fruit. So in your life, when you put in the hard work and you put in the effort into your dreams, you can know in your heart that it will produce fruit. Something that I've been thinking about lately too is just that you can plant different types of seeds, right? So one that's really easy to fall into is insecurities. You start planting seeds of, I'm not good enough, I can't do this. I'm too tired to do this. I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have the skills required. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not capable enough. You know, whatever it is. But those are seeds that you're now planting. But those seeds will not produce a harvest because they're dead ends. They just produce a dead tree. And so it's really important to focus in on what's important to you and what your dream is in life so that you can pursue it and know that all of your hard work and all your labor and putting in the seeds of just literally just putting your head down and doing the hard work and not running from it, but facing it head on and saying, you know, I'm an overcomer and I can do this, and all things are possible to those who believe. And that's the sort of peace I'm talking about, because you know that it's going to produce a tree and it's going to produce fruit in your life. And, you know, this painting, she was the beginning of that for me, because I didn't even know if I was capable of making a painting as nice as this. You know, it's like she's super special to me because it's the first time that I challenged myself that much and really pushed the boundaries of my artistic capabilities, and I just went for it. And that's the whole point, is you don't have to know the future. You don't have to know how it ends. Because when you sow seeds of gratefulness and acts of service and, you know, bringing joy to other people and all of those things, they get returned to you. I mean, when you bless others, it blesses you in return. And a major way, if you want to be happier, start by making other people happy. Because that, the same, when you bless others like that, the blessing is also going to you. And you're also getting that favor. So that's something I've really had to learn too, is to be able to take the time to step out of my own head and um, when I stopped just thinking about myself and stopped being so selfish in my own desires and what I wanted, and then when I just kind of had to stop all of that and look around myself and be like, oh, with this person, here's a small thing that I can help them. And then all of a sudden I was feeling better about myself. So and honestly, that's how I see a lot of my paintings now too, is these are things that I'm learning and now I want to share with you guys on what I learned. So, yeah. Honestly, my final encouragement is just to um, don't count yourself out of the race before you even start it. Just go for it. Be empowered in who you are and go after your dreams and what you want in life. And it's not always pretty. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what the future holds. You don't know if you'll make it, but you do know that you have all that you need for today. And just for today, you can make a tiny step towards the person you want to be, the sort of career you want. And all it is planting these little tiny seeds into the ground and cover them with some soil, give them some water, give them some sun, and just watch how these small seeds of goodwill towards others, gratitude for where you're at in life, helping other people, you know, showing love, showing kindness to other people. These little seeds, they add up and they're going to bloom and they're going to have a harvest, and something good is just about to happen for you. So keep on embracing your struggle, because your struggle is going to propel you into your destiny, into the person you're meant to be. Don't run from your struggle. Don't hide from it. Be strong in who you are. Be strong in what you want and go after it. You are capable. You have all you need to succeed. You have enough for today. and good things are going to happen. And I always think it is interesting to know how my paintings play off, because as you know, like after everything I said, you know what I was thinking as I painted this, but now I want to know what you think. Here it is. Here she is. Honestly, to me, when I showed it to my class, people said she looked really sad, and I was shocked because in my head I was like, no, she's just in her little dreamland thinking about childhood and saying goodbye and embracing this new change in life, and maybe she's she's just kind of in her own world. That's what I was thinking. My class is like, are you okay? Are you sad? Are you going through something? And I was like, oh, I guess I am. Didn't even realize. So yeah, what do you think? How does it make you feel? What does it evoke in you? That'd be super interesting for me to know. Okay, everyone. All right, that's all I got. Go forth and be blessed. Go after what you want.